Yeah, I don't even know if Zach Lavine will ever be traded at this point. He was supposed to be gone by now. Every year they got this man in trade talks, but I wouldn't be too surprised if he stays a Chicago Bull forever at this point. On the off chance he does finally get set free though, I thought it would be fun to look at how he would fit into every team across the league. Now of course, all these trades aren't really likely to happen. In fact, I'd bet money he stays put another year, just wasting whatever prime he has left. But let's just get into it and you can let me know if you agree. I'll start with the teams that I think he would be the worst fit on and work my way up to the one I think would be the best situation for him to join. So if you're a Zach Lavine fan, this is the video for you.
We're taking a selfie with Benny. Final six, by the way.
First we got the Chicago Bulls. This is an F for obvious reasons. They've shown they cannot build around Zach for a number of years now. And it's not for a lack of trying. They had a big swing at it in 2021, but injuries got in the way, and they haven't been able to come close to being competitive since.
Floats it up, won't get it on the contest there by Richards and Booker. Book on the push.
Next I have the Phoenix Suns, also getting an F. If they were to get Zach Lavine's services, it would be a slight upgrade from Bradley Beal, but still have similar issues. It doesn't address that they can't stop a stop sign on defense, and it would basically give us more of D-Book playing point, and that's just not what this team needs.
Could be a long night for the Bulls. Here's Lavine out top.
Toronto Raptors is up next, and I only gave them an F because I just think getting Zach would be unnecessary. I don't necessarily have a problem with the way they're building the team so far. It would make them more relevant, but adding an almost 30-year-old former all-star to your team that is most likely want to get paid isn't the best way to rebuild.
Powell on the dribble drive, floats it up, won't get it on the contest there by Richards and Booker.
And last for the F-tier teams is the Washington Wizards for obvious reasons. They should just sell the team at this point. He would definitely be an upgrade attitude-wise from Poole and Kuzma, but similar skill set and not really good enough to just carry an Eastern Conference struggle squad out the gutter, as seen by his time in Chicago.
Honest on the floor at all times, so you may see us.
Next, we got the Portland Trail Blazers. Getting DeAndre Ayton was already a little bit of a head scratcher, but getting Lavine would be even worse. They need room in the backcourt for Sharp and Scoot to grow, and don't really need another volume scorer taking shots away, even if he's more efficient than Simons.
Tried to hammer it home with the left hand. Here comes LeBron. It's a hit to Rose.
I got Cleveland here for the sole fact that they don't need him. They got offense down pat. He would just be a taller, watered down version of Donovan Mitchell, which would make his fit redundant.
And he was a little bit strong. Z gets there and finishes.
Pelicans are up next because they might need a mini rebuild or at least a retooling of this roster. He would be a slightly better scorer than DeJounte Murray, but he's not as reliable as CJ McCollum. And the trio of Zach Lavine, Brandon Ingram, and Zion would just be the most injured big three in NBA history.
Get to the first quarter, marking it off the cut, two-handed jam.
Utah Jazz get a D for similar reasons of they do not need an older player in this situation right now. They have no identity yet and are actively trying to lose games.
Thomas using the screen from Claxton, pull-up jump, money.
The Nets already have Cam Thomas that they barely use, right? Adding Zach might convince another star to come, but they're just about to get Ben Simmons off the salary books, and it might be best to just get a bunch of solid players with that money when that happens.
To the rebound of VanVleet. Gets it ahead quickly. Rockets now have numbers. The skip to Brooks.
Boston doesn't really need Lavine. Of course, it wouldn't hurt to have another aggressive scorer when JB or JT sit down, but I think their backcourt of Holiday and White are the best support players to have for their stars.
Pat Riley last week to formally request a trade, according to multiple reports.
You might as well go after Jimmy Butler instead if you're the Rockets. This team isn't missing much other than a strong on-court leader, but you're not really going to find that by getting Lavine. And unless you're going to move on from Jalen Green, I wouldn't see the point in this. Speaking of Jimmy Butler though, let's talk about the Miami Heat potentially getting Zach. Butler is the reason Zach is even rotting in Chicago to begin with. I think he would definitely help things in Miami, but having him and Tyler Herro there would be a bit awkward.
Wide open, and that one off the mark. Bridges the offensive rebound. Over Edey, shot is good.
The Knicks are fine as they are. I guess another ISO scorer that can also play off ball wouldn't hurt, but I think Mikal Bridges plays that role pretty well already with more D. Also, when the game is getting close, you're going to need the ball in Brunson's hands as much as possible.
Thinking maybe this time down the floor, they isolate LeBron, and here he goes, reverse layup.
I give the fit with Philly a plain C. Would definitely be more consistent than Podcast P at this point in both their careers, but it doesn't address their main problem, which is staying healthy.
Around the NBA a long time, he's been producing for a long time. And Shea goes right at him, falling away.
OKC just simply doesn't need him. If anything, they need more size and playmakers that can pass at an elite level. I don't think Lavine being there would hurt this team though. Lavin's fit on the Bucks gets a C+ for me. Would be an upgrade from Middleton, but their defense would be a struggle. Putting way too much pressure on Giannis to lock everything down.
Wembanyama blocked him. 76 consecutive games against
The Spurs could be in a higher tier for sure. They could use a hyper scoring guard to open things up for Wemby. I just think it would be better if they grew that star organically from the draft. Zach is getting old.
Using the dribble that time, and so Krejci is totally taking away the middle move, so
Bringing it back to where Zach's career started would be interesting. Seeing Lavine and Ant-Man having in game dunk contests would be electrifying, but McDaniels is a better fit at the 3, and neither Anthony Edwards or Zach Lavine should be any team's full-time point guard.
athlete and a high flyer. Backdoor to Lavine with a clutch two-hand.
I actually don't mind Lavine's fit on the Clippers. He's a Cali kid after all. Just with the emergence of Norman Powell, I feel like Zach's role has already been filled here.
Lob. Oh, baby! Timeout, Portland.
Zach Lavine and Ja Morant teaming up would be fun to watch as well. Desmond Bane kind of fits a little better though, since his defense is more solid, but I wouldn't mind this happening, so B-.
Hawks want to spread the floor, give Trey some room to operate. Hunter's three is no good. Hated the
We already seen that Trae Young doesn't fit well with another aggressive scoring guard when he paired up with Murray. I gave this fit a B- though, because Zach Lavine is a little bit better of an off-ball player than Murray. Dyson Daniels is the correct fit for this team at shooting guard though.
Is automatic win. Both sides scoreless, 90 seconds into our game.
Okay, I might be a little biased here. I am a Charlotte guy after all. I honestly don't think Lavine fits here all that well only because of his age and salary, but at this point the Hornets need all the help they can get. I don't trust them building in the draft, and giving LaMelo another lob threat would be both fun and beneficial. He of course doesn't help the injury woes that have plagued this team though.
DeMar DeRozan back in Chicago. Of course, now he's a member of the Sacramento Kings.
I think Lavine was Sacramento's first choice when it came to players from the Bulls that they wanted to acquire. He fits their timeline better than DeRozan, and him and Fox would make for a thrilling backcourt. But not only that, many Kings fans say DeMar slows down the offense whenever he goes into mid-range mode. Lavine's game is just more modern and fits the pace the Kings like to play. Zach being from Cali is also a nice touch.
I just don't see how he cannot find a place in the All-Star game.
Zach Lavine doesn't fit the ages of Orlando Stars perfectly, but he would be a nice third option in addition. They're a solid team, and his skill set just would improve them big time. It would almost be the best fit, but right now they're dealing with crazy injuries, and like I said earlier, Zach would eventually add on to that.
Sixth in pace, 107 possessions in the first game, 101 in the second game, 100.
I gave Dallas the same grade if they were to get Zach Lavine's services. Clay has been playing better basketball lately, but at this point in their careers, Lavine is just more consistent, even as a catch and shoot spot up player. Only problem would probably be on-ball defense if you got a lineup of Kyrie, Luka, and Lavine.
Lavine. Well, he is on a roll. He's coming in off a 30.
Pacers would be one of the more boring destinations for Zach to end up on, but boy, could they use him. The main thing they're missing is someone that could create offense without it being part of a fast break. You could say Ben Mathurin is that guy, but he's still growing and hasn't learned how to play make yet. So this would speed up the process of getting a good half-court player.
And a good play run. Got everything but the ball to go down. This guy right here who just...
We're getting to the final stretches of teams that actually should seriously pursue this man. Detroit is not really the greatest fit with age, and Cade and Zach actually got into it a while back. But all that doesn't change the fact that he would be a clear upgrade from Jaden Ivey for now, or could just move Tobias Harris to the 4 and have a premier offensive lineup for D-Town.
You don't want Utah to start thinking, hey, we're right in this game.
Golden State needs to wake up and go all in already. I'm sorry to say Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Potts is not the future that most Warrior fans think they are. Zach could play a Klay Thompson role, but even better since he can create his own shot. Would give Steph a definite second option to depend on, being way more consistent and dynamic than Buddy Hield.
Lavine, rather, he goes up and takes it.
I think the fit with Zach Lavine and the Los Angeles Lakers deserves a whole A. A lot of y'all saw this coming and them being high up on this list because every NBA fan tries to put any all-star in LA, but hear me out. They need shot creation, like I need thick Latina god baddies. I think this would be a similar fit to the KG Ray Allen and Paul Pierce big three that was in Boston a few years ago. He can play on ball, off ball, and while I think the Lakers' main need should be a good offensive big to pair with AD, I think someone like Lavine should be second on their list of priorities. And like Golden State, they do not need to try to save their assets for some promising future. They have no future superstars on their roster currently, and when LeBron does leave, Zach and AD would at least keep this team relevant for a couple more seasons.
Beg your pardon, fourth straight game for Kobe White, out with that foot issue. There's Giddey.
That's not the team that I think has the best fit for Zach Lavine though. The Denver Nuggets to me just makes the most sense. I think it would help Chicago by getting Michael Porter Jr., and it would give MPJ a chance to see if he can survive as a number one option. You would give up some size with this swap, but it would give you another player other than Jamal Murray that can create off the dribble, and you're not giving up much in terms of spot of shooters for Nikola Jokic, who wouldn't also love seeing Lavine and Aaron Gordon teaming up finally and just giving Jokic all sorts of lob threats, along with Westbrook too, of course. But well, that's the video, my dudes and dudettes. You can let me know if you agree with these grades in the comments, but with the trade deadline just days away at this point, we'll see if Zach or any big names even get traded soon at all. Make sure to subscribe for more though, and I'm out.